got a fart in my butt. Started off with some cheese pizza. Then
Tahoe, I was sitting there on a patio eating lunch with a friend, just looking out at the water. It was a beautiful view. All of a sudden, my phone lights up, and I look down at it, and I read the headline, and I just sort of start smiling. And my friend's like, "What is it?" I was like, "I believe I'll wait till we get back to the car to tell you this one, because we were sitting really close to other people, and this is not a conversation you want to have when people are eating." But when we got outside, my friend said, "What was it? Did he fall asleep again?" I was like, "No, it's worse. Donald Trump is actually farting in court." And yeah, I really said that.
From my sources as well is that what's going on in the courtroom, and what I'm hearing is that take it for what it's worth, but that Donald Trump is actually farting in the courtroom, and that it's very stinky around him. It's putrid odor in the courtroom, and that Trump's lawyers are like repulsed by the scent and the smell. As he's kind of falling asleep, he is actually passing gas, and that his lawyers are really struggling with the smell. People who are there saying that it's putrid around him.
So when we got back to the car, I broke the news to my friend as to what Donald Trump was doing in the courtroom. And she just said to me, "What next? You know, what could he possibly do next? What could possibly happen next on this crazy news day?" No sooner than she said that, my phone lit up, no pun intended, and a guy had set himself on fire.
1:30 this afternoon, right here in Collect Pond Park, which is directly opposite of New York County Criminal Court at 100 Center Street, where the trial of former President Trump is currently taking place. We observe a male walk into the park. He starts shuffling around his clothes. He opens up a book bag. From the book bag, he takes numerous pieces of papers, pamphlets out. He throws the pamphlets throughout the park, and then he pulls out a canister and pours some kind of liquid on himself, a liquid we believe is an accelerant, and he lights himself on fire. The male, he takes a couple of steps while he's on fire, and then eventually falls onto a police barrier and falls down to the ground. The park where some of the accelerant spilt is also on fire. Members of the police department, they run into the park. They make efforts to put him out. We're able to put the male, extinguish the fire, and from that point, we remove him to a Cornell burn unit, where right now he's there in a critical condition.
You know, folks, I got to be honest with you. When I very first saw that clip, I said to myself, okay, this is how it's going to end for them. They're going to be the cult that lights themselves on fire. Actually, a Trump supporter, he was a deeply disturbed conspiracy theorist who drove all the way from Florida to New York just to light himself on fire, and he lost his life later. And it's truly sad. And what's even more sad to me is that we live in a world where the political climate has normalized conspiracy theories. They've become part of our everyday conversation. And there are people out there buying into it who are going to take it to that length. That's the result of spreading conspiracy theories. Listen, the politicians out there and the pundits that spread this propaganda and conspiracy theories, they're never going to light themselves on fire. The politicians that turns over the microphones to conspiracy theorists, they're never going to light themselves on fire. But then on the other hand, you have truly deeply disturbed people who you're feeding that stuff to, and they buy into it, and then they go light themselves on fire and lose their life. That's why we can't normalize that kind of rhetoric. And get back to the whole Donald Trump farting in the courtroom thing. I mean, when is someone going to be the adult in the room and just step in and say, "Okay, buddy, enough's enough. You got to go"? It's like, when are they ever going to just step in and say enough is enough? What line could this guy possibly cross? I don't think there is one. I really don't think there is. I hate to get graphic here, folks, but I really believe the guy could just drop his pants and take a dump in the courtroom and throw shit at the judge, and his supporters would just go with it at this point. I really wish I was wrong. I really wish that there would be a moment, but I don't know that they'll ever see through it, and it's truly sad.